Today, I'm giving my thoughts on the W-217H after wearing it everywhere for the last 1 week straight. As a bonus, we're also going to open this bad boy up and see what's going on the inside to see if it can be modified. Finally, we'll be making a quick announcement on next week's Watch of the Week, as well as opening the voting for you, so stick around to the end. Here's my overall thoughts of the W-217H. Appearance-wise, it kind of felt like I was wearing imagine if a G-Shock Square got busy with an F91W. 9 months later, the W-217H would be their love child. One of the first things I noticed about the design of this watch is just how far back the display is into the bezel. Look at the massive gap between the screen lens and the display. And that got me wondering, did it really need to be that much thicker than an F91W? I do have a theory for this though that we're going to discuss a bit later into the video. One of our awesome viewers, Colin Oakes, left a comment for us advising that he actually prefers the W-217H due to its thicker design, as the F91W looked too small on his wrists. But I've definitely heard both sides of the argument, so it really comes down to personal preference. Here's some comments from my brother and his partner on our current Watch of the Week. Isn't that just the same watch as last week? What? No way! Last week's Watch of the Week was the AE1200, a very different and iconic watch. Tell me how these two look the same. But they were really impressed with the backlight of this watch, and when asked to describe the watch in one word, they said, functional. He then asked if he could have a try at the stopwatch function of the watch to see if we could play stop the clock and get it to land on 10 seconds, which we did, and it was a lot of fun. And he did get it on 10 seconds, but he kept using this start-stop technique like I just did, and I seem to think that's cheating. So I'm here to show you how a real man lands it on 10 seconds with no cheating, no stop starting, no resets, just one try. So here we go. And if I land this, you better remember to like the video. So here we go. 9, 10. Oh my God. No, that literally just happened. So you know what to do, guys? Like the video. Now I know during the unboxing video of this watch, I mentioned that my favorite feature was the incredible backlight. However, I'm here to tell you that I have changed my mind and I've got a new favorite feature that I want to show you. And here it is. It is the alarm, which is ridiculously loud. And it was so loud that I literally had to turn off the hourly signals because it was actually shocking me each time it went off. Just listen to how loud this is. There was not one single time where this did not wake me up. Now, I actually have a theory as to why I think this alarm is more powerful than all the others I've owned. But I would like to point out that if you are someone who struggles to get up in the morning like me, I would highly advise giving this W-217H a shot to start your day, and I think you might be pleasantly surprised. If you don't already own one and want to get your hands on one, I will be leaving a link in the description, and there's a variety of different colorways available. My theory as to why this watch is so incredibly loud all boils down to the massive gap between the lens and display that we touched on earlier. I suspect that having this large gap gives the sound waves a chance to reverberate on the inside and potentially amplify them, making the sound that bit louder. Now, I'm no Albert Einstein, but that makes total sense to me, but I'd love to hear what you think. And with that said, what better time for the bonus? Let's have a look on the inside and see what this gap is really all about. Let's start by removing the caseback screws. Now, before we even think about removing this module, check it out. There is a rubber gasket around the edge to keep it waterproof. So it's critically important that we retain that by using one of these Lubri joints, gasket lubricant, which I would highly recommend, and I will be leaving a link in the description. So I'm just going to prise this up Just drop that in there, and we'll just make sure that this gets greased up so that when we put it back on, it's going to stay waterproof. Now let's remove the module using some tweezers to gently prise it up. A little pad here just so that it doesn't get any dust on it. So check out this case. It doesn't really look like there's that big of a gap between the lens and the module. So I wonder what it is, why there's such a big gap. Interesting. So we're now just going to swap out the head of our EDC screwdriver. And by the way, we have done a review on this if you'd like to check that out. But we're going to use this to gently pry off and have a closer look inside the module itself. So that should be each of them. Oh, and I don't know if you saw that, but a very small little spring has just fallen out. Luckily, I was able to catch that. So here we can see with the battery piece removed, we have access to the little motherboard down here. Similar to another model of Casio, the W-800H, I was hoping there'd be a little piece in the middle with some soldered areas, which if there was, we were going to desolder that to actually enable an additional feature. It doesn't look like that is possible with this particular model, so we are going to reassemble it, but it was good to see just how much gap there was and try and get a feel for why they've actually left that much space. And hopefully it should just be a matter of getting all of these little clips back down. Now fortunately I was able to review the previous footage and see that the little spring needs to go down just there. And just make sure that all of our pushes are actually out. Now we will get our gasket, which we will lube up by rotating this. Again, this is a must-have if you're opening a watch. So with everything back together, let's now test that the alarm is still working. Excellent. So we have in fact put the spring back in the correct spot. If you enjoyed that bonus, don't forget to smash that like button. And now it's time for an announcement on Watch of the Week. There will be a slight change to Watch of the Week this time, as the Casio calculator watch, or the CA53W, has been active in the last 3 polls. And this watch has had some serious votes behind it each time, just narrowly missing the win. So I will be wearing this as our next Watch of the Week. Make sure you have notifications turned on so that you don't miss the unboxing of the calculator watch. And you guys still get to vote on our next Watch of the Week with 2 brand new contenders. On the left, we have a true 90s classic, the G-Shock DW6900 in an awesome transparent colorway. And on the right, we have the Casio F94W, which I've heard from viewers is a fantastic alternative to the F91W. To cast your vote on either of these 2 epic watches, just head over to the Goat Reviews YouTube channel and click on the Community tab, and you'll be able to vote in the poll. The voting on this poll will remain active for the next 1 week or so there'll be plenty of time to make your vote count. What's the loudest watch in your collection? I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'm leaving you with our Watch of the Week playlist, as well as another related video that you're not going to want to miss. Do make sure you are subscribed with notifications on so you don't miss out on voting for our next Watch of the Week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in our next review.